Hey, how's everybody going? It's 6:35 a.m., June 25th, 2023. I'm not going to be doing any editing. That means just going to talk for a little bit, do light editing, no editing, no cutting out of gaps, only if I cough or anything like that, anything that I can mute out, any type of human sound. Sounds are everything to me. It is the sense I most experience through the autism. We're not meant to be scripted. So this guy Krishnamurti would give long talks with big audiences over a whole week or longer. And he was 100% unscripted, the way we're meant to be. What is going on in society, the only way in which any of us can meet each other, discuss things, the only way we can know how to bond is through the medium. We were conditioned that way. There is another way, the human way, the spontaneous, unscripted way, but not when the conditioning was so hard on all of us, so forceful. It doesn't take a rocket science degree to see that certain stories, that everything is scripted. That Titanic thing. So right there, I can mention the Titanic thing, and everyone knows what I'm talking about. Now, how do we go from we're on the same page to what are we on the same page for? It's not good enough to be in agreement of certain words. I'm going to try to teach what Krishnamurti provided. I've already started that right here by mentioning how organic and off the cuff this is. That this is how everyone should be. The only difference amongst any of us is the content, our memory. We all have the same type of overall sameness. I'm not trying to steal from Krishnamurti, so I'm thinking about him right now in this moment. A cat is a cat is a cat. Now we can tell cats apart. We know they're different, so we're different and we're the same at the same time. That's because the contents of our consciousness is different, are different. I didn't know where to go with the grammar for that one. Contents. We're not meant to be managed. We're not meant to be manipulated. And if they're going to do that, if anyone's going to be doing anything like that in a so-called benevolent manner, it shouldn't be done as gaslighting. And the wrong people shouldn't be doing it. The worst wrong people in the world have the power. The worst wrong people in the world control all of medium. So it doesn't matter what any of us come up with. It's not going to go viral. I got that Farron Franzak on video, drunk driving. I figured out why she went from having good, normal jobs on TV, those local Fox or whatever, those local news channels. She was in communities, Texas, I think Indiana, Michigan. Where else has she been? Chicago. I think she's from Chicago. So I find videos, I find proof of stuff, yet nothing ever happens with it. Few people have ever left comments on the stuff I came up with, and I'm talking about since 2007-ish. I've been on the internet. I even had a forum. I made a forum in 2007, 2008-ish. I got into the Brett Kimberlin thing. So I am able to understand internet and exactly what's going on because I was victimized by it. I experienced it before it became obvious that we're being manipulated, that we're being turned into patsies. But it's rigged. I want, like, that insurrection thing. I warned people. I warned it. I saw it. I'm not going to say I predicted it, but I pretty much pointed out what was going on, the entrapment of it all, the Rittenhouse thing with Tucker Carlson. It becomes a double bind in which to discuss these topics is to fall into the trap of the manipulators. So it's pointless to discuss some idiot rich people going on some trip to see the Titanic wreckage, even though it is a funeral. It is it's a cemetery down there, however the victims, the families describe it. And I agree with them. Krishnamurti would say, this isn't an entertainment. Don't clap. This is your life. This is your life right here. It doesn't matter to me. I've already figured this stuff out. I probably won't be alive in 20 years. That's how, well, I'll say 40 years. I probably won't be alive in 40 years. 30 is probably a good number. I probably won't be around in 30 years. Or if I am, I'm going to be like a Noam Chomsky. Well, I wouldn't be that old in 30 years. I think he's approaching 100. But I'm trying to say, I mean, if I was going to go into a discussion on it, I'd say the 70s are like today is the new 50s. So being in your 70s could be like a middle-aged sort of thing. And then maybe best case scenario, 80s, 90s, we just totally unwind and our brains are still clear and functioning, and we've got relationships still cooking. We still experience a good life into the 80s and 90s. But that's not the topic. That's not. The point is that we're not meant to be scripted. I'll leave it at that. I've already reached. I'm approaching 10 minutes. I'll grab a few screenshots so this won't be empty. Just a radio show, an audio show. I'm done trying to break those people. I see that to keep trying to break them is going to make me look bad. If I don't already look bad, I don't care if I look bad, to be blunt. And I don't care that they're broken. They deserve it. They're broken. I just point out that they're broken. I didn't break anyone. Those are broken, demented people who are effing with all of us. Now, they're not the ones creating the program. They're like, I don't make the rules. I just work here type of thing. They're not Hitler. They're working for Hitler. They're like, I'm not Hitler. I just work for Hitler. That sort of argument from them. So what is today? I think today is, I don't even know what day it is. Is it Saturday? Is it Sunday? Let's take a look. It's Sunday. Is this, guess that means it's Meet the Press. If it's Sunday, it's Meet the Press. Now, why do I remember that, even though I don't watch TV anymore? I didn't even watch Meet the Press that much throughout life. So anyway, that's today's lesson, that we're not meant to be scripted. I don't think people should even be supplied questions. So I see like a Noam Chomsky. I don't want to see even Noam Chomsky being scripted. I don't want people to be all prepared. I want them to be themselves and to have to fish for words like anyone else. Everything in our society broke. We know what's going on, but we're not allowed to say what's going on without being smeared and isolated. We're not even allowed to have that stuff go too viral. So, for example, I figured out the Russia Today thing, how they're American Five Eyes. I found all these these no names, affiliated, associated with, promoted by Jimmy Dore. And anyone can see that Dore, Graham Elwood, all those losers are tied to the hip of Cenk Uygur. All that happens is our fake fights are put up, and they just try to move on to the new management. We're going to discuss the Titanic today. We're going to discuss this or that today. It's all done. It's all over. They took away our free speech. So who in their right mind is going to be dropping comments on the internet, not knowing if they're going to be deleted? Who in their right mind is going to care about anything to do with who's believing in any of that? When I let everyone know, you slow down the videos and you stare at their eyes. I even pointed out the demented way they're using Asian healthness, calisthenic-styled ancient wisdom of how to get the air circulating throughout the body. I point that out, and they upped it up. They upped it. They upped the ante. They started flapping those arms nonstop. I saw that they started to trigger tardive dyskinesia in themselves. See, no one wants to be blunt. No one wants to just say the obvious, that drugs and alcohol makes us lose control of our face and body. No one wants to just come right out and say it, which is what I did. Now, since I have autism and ADHD, I can hyper-focus the F out of it, which I do, and I did. And I did that with Kimberlyn. I can do that with anything. I don't need anyone to think. I did need people to think when I was younger. That's called getting educated by good people. Now, they're not all good people. And ultimately, it's up to the student to crack the code. So basically, to go full circle, we're not meant to be scripted. We're meant to be free alert, in the moment, compassionate. The medium does nothing for any of us. The medium is the enemy. The military is the enemy, for lack of a better word. They're trying to they're breaking constitutional law with the surveillance, because it's not just 100% surveillance going on. It's manipulation, it's puppetry, it's rigging of debate. All of it's scripted and rigged. So people wanted to keep discussing Trump and Biden? I'm saying no. I want to discuss Bernie and Hillary and Julian Assange. And that's it. End of story. There's things called deal breakers. There are things in which people have the right to say F you, you're tweaking out, you got no dignity, you're scripted, you're full of it, you can go to hell, you're in hell. Okay, we're approaching upwards to 17 minutes, and I mill crap in because I'm not getting any page views. I'm not getting much of nothing from nowhere in regards to internet. Social media was a big fat lie. This is all a big fat lie. But they are deformed. They are deformed. They are demented. I believe in nonviolent anarchy. I believe in nonviolent telling it like it is, similar to Howard Cosell, but not completely similar, because he was sort of a blowhard, but he was entertaining. But it's not about the entertainment of it. So please, I apologize if I've at all been entertaining. I shouldn't have been. So basically that's it. Even if the only scoop you can make and become and go viral is something stupid that doesn't matter. That's all this world is. That's all they allow. They do not allow the truth of, oh, that crap's all scripted. You can't see they're staring at stuff in the back. You can't notice that they're not looking at each other. They're looking at a teleprompter over the other person's back. You can't notice that. I know you can't leave a comment saying you notice that. And then I notice the people who do a few real people backed me up. And I thank those few real people. Otherwise, no one helped me. Only a few ever helped me for my crusade on internet. So this is the deal. I'm just leaving it at that one lesson. We're not meant to be scripted. We're meant to be organic and real. We're meant to be sincere. We're meant to be whole. Who in the right mind lets others write stuff for them to say as if it's them saying it? That's what I'm talking about. So all of this is fake. Whatever real is going on doesn't make it into this fake medium. It seems that it does, but those are all older videos. That's stuff from like 50 years ago. or from 20 years ago even, or something not well known, but it's like, oh wow, what if everyone watched stuff like that instead of being directed from story to story that never leads anywhere? It's in the Snowden documents. I put up that one screenshot simulating actions and outcomes. That's all this is. So that's it. I cracked 20 minutes. All I have to do is hit stop, and that's it. This is my pseudonym is Tokyo Shemp. My real name is Seth. And none of them are real. I didn't break them. They're broken. They are broken. My story is proof that the internet is rigged and that there's nothing anyone can do about it. So if we go, all we're doing when we go to anywhere on the internet, all we're doing is lurking. All we're doing is wasting time. There's nothing out there. There's Zippo. There's nothing, nada. So all I could ever find was the negative. All I could find were these people to observe and see that they were drug addicts, that they are COINTELPRO. So even when I prove that they're filming for police, it doesn't matter. They still go on. They flap the arms even more. They think that's funny. They thought that was funny, flapping their arms, doing those semi-Tai Chi movements. They think that's funny. Well, I think it's funny that you can't control your faces and that you're broken, demented trash. I'm nonviolent, so I wash my hands of demented, broken trash, and I actually don't give an F if this makes me look like a meanie, if this makes me look like a bad guy. I don't care about that. The truth is more important than reputation. The truth is more important than any one of us. People flapping their arms like that, and I proved it. And I'm also the person who proved that the Brett Kimberlin thing was all rigged, all that SWATgate, all that stuff circulating about what's that guy married to Uma Abedin, Wienergate, that guy, all that stuff. And they try to line me up as a patsy. Well, F you. You're the patsies. You're the broken effers. Well, I have the strong voice. I have the wisdom. I have the spontaneity. I have the non-scripted nature of existence, of experience. So you go F yourselves with that arm flapping. You go F yourselves with your fat. I'll just leave it at that. Go F yourselves, COINTELPRO people. I know you're mostly who has heard my message, you losers. So that's why I did get into your faces, and that's why I did get a lot of you idiots to quit. And be careful when you're out there, because even though I'm nonviolent, there are a lot of people out there who think snitches deserve stitches, but I'm nonviolent. But just because I'm nonviolent doesn't mean I don't hate your effing guts. That I don't hate you as much as hate can hate. You disgusting, idiotic cult members is what they are. They're cult members. Okay, it's just after 7 o'clock. They're cult members of the Five Eyes. They're cult members of capitalism, of status quo, of military, of trying to manage human beings. I'm glad that they're in the toilet. It's natural and organic that they're in the toilet. Some of us will never accept what they're doing, and some of us will understand that they are 100% organized and scripted.